Welcome, everybody, to the Peg Warmers podcast. This is Ryan Bell.
I'm Dustin Freepartner.
And I'm Ashley and Jennifer.
That was Brian. Brian BARROW is with us today, the owner of the Destination
This is
Comics.
what Ashley and Jennifer sound like when they do like the gym thing and like
when they go Super Saiyan and combine.
Yeah, when they
This
combine.
Fusion.
Yeah,
fusion. Yeah, fusion.
Fusion.
Yeah.
Ha!
This is Jennifer. This is Ashley Fur.
Ashley Fur.
This is Ashley Fur. And so
We're going to be talking about Turtles. The whole DNN network is having a Turtles week this entire week, talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in honor of the franchise. The movie just came out. The second movie just hit theaters. We're not going to talk about that because Brian's probably disappointed in it. And then,
I liked it.
I haven't seen it yet.
You listen to my podcast. You talk about.
Well, I'll have to do that.
I really want to see it. I don't want to pay for it. I wish it would just leak already.
I want to see it.
Has it not leaked yet?
No,
I do wanna see it.
There's like a shitty version of it.
Even if it's crappy, I want to pay for it because I want, like, I would rather, like, I love the shotgun approach. Like, if like 6 of the 10, nostalgia movies or whatever or franchises are made and 6 are good out of the 10, like, I'm fine with that.
I honestly enjoyed it. And not to plug my own show, but if you listen to Nerdstalgia, which is currently up, you can...
You should plug it.
You can listen to it.
Here.
You can
Only reason.
Podcast.
listen to Nerdstalgia where we talk about the new movies, and it's actually, I enjoyed it quite a bit. But that's not why I'm here,
That's not good. Well, both of our ladies aren't too favorable on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
which is why they're not here.
Does Ashley just, like, straight up hate them?
Yeah, she said she used to like it when she was a kid, but she just every time anything Turtles comes up, she just
Can I
As
ask
an
a question on that?
adult?
Is it a hipstery thing? Like, I don't like them because everybody else likes them? Or is it just like, how do you not like them?
Sure,
I don't
sure.
understand. Like,
I tried asking her, and she said it's just like it's just one of those things. She just grew out. She doesn't like it, and she just doesn't. care for it.
really? That's interesting. And why does Jennifer not like
I
it?
could understand because she mentioned like Power Rangers, how she like used to like that, and she grew
Sure.
out of it.
Yeah.
Which is the same with me. Like I used to like Power Rangers a lot, and I've
Even though Walter White is playing
and in-
Zordon, that's going to be
Oh,
awesome.
my goodness. That movie's going to be ridiculous.
It's going to be amazing.
I
gonna be
hope
stupid.
it's good, but it's just going to be very different.
Why
Anyway,
does Jennifer not like it?
well, probably not all that different. Like Power Rangers is one of those things that Jennifer loved too, and she appreciates when I buy Megazords, and she's bought me Megazords, and when I buy Super Sentai figure arts and stuff. But like, it is a grow-outable thing. So no one punched me here, but I can understand how people grow out of Turtles. But with Jennifer, I probably caused it to happen.
But see,
even more than it probably already did, because she doesn't buy multiples of stuff.
Yeah.
She understands like army building, troop building. If it's a stormtrooper or like here's a plain stormtrooper and here's a shock trooper with red paint. Like it's the same figure, but there's different paint. She's like, okay, fine, I get that. But like with the Turtles, she doesn't understand why I currently own 4 different sets of all 4 of them.
They have different outfits or different looks.
I know. Well, and I mean, I've got the first run of the newer Playmates ones based on the TV show that don't look anything like the TV show because they look better.
Yeah.
They're not like the square blocky ones. And then I've got the square blocky ones that are in the RPG LARPing. Outfits,
Those look
which
great.
I love.
Yeah, those look great.
And then I've got the first movie set and the second movie set, and I've painted all of them.
Yeah.
I've made them a lot nicer because the fun thing, we'll talk about this a little later. The great sculpts, cheap toys, and I paint them, and make them fun. But she doesn't understand buying.
The only thing,
like, why do you have 4 Leonardos?
I
She
get
needs,
it.
she needs to understand that it could be so much worse too.
I know.
Oh, no,
I
yeah,
know.
there's a ton
for
of
real.
colors.
There's whole different ones in that Playmates,
Yeah.
the new one that I haven't bought because
they have a sports line. Well, it's back in the 90s.
well, there's the
toys
sports
they
and
had that,
space.
yeah.
Oh, back in they're just playing off of the old.
Dimension X and the Rockstar one.
But I can understand that aspect. I don't understand the growing out of it because technically everything that you all talk about, everything that I sell, is all
Right.
stuff that people technically can at one point in time grow out of. It's all fantastical stuff. It's all
Right.
it's-
Transformers is that for me though. I still love Transformers in many ways, but and I would buy them left and right if I kind of had to pick at one point and say I'm not gonna buy a whole lot of Transformers anymore because it just my wallet, like my finances can't handle it. And then it's just like I like them but I don't need them.
Well,
And I-
Transformers can get really stupid expensive.
yes, they can.
That was the reason that when I was
And I'm not even talking about masterpiece ones. Like
no, it's just
even
all of them.
regular.
Like if I could segue here at the Turtles, this is
Right.
why, because everybody always at the store many a times we've all talked about how I owned everything as a kid. All the 1990s Turtles I owned. I had all the Turtles. I had the play sets. I had the blimp. I had the Technodrome. I had all the stuff, all the stupid gimmicky stuff that they throw out. And that was the thing that I got, and my parents were happy to support that addiction. But if it ever swayed to like, oh, Dad, can I get this Transformer? Those were always so much differently priced. I mean, we're talking like a $7 action figure as opposed to a $20 what they considered action figures.
Right.
And $20 back then, of course, was
that's
a lot
good,
more. So.
That's a good point, though. I think. Do you guys think that's one of the reasons why Turtle toys are like still around and Turtle memorabilia? Like, it's affordable. Is that a big factor?
I guess. I don't know.
Because if they were Figure Arts Turtles, if I had 4 different versions of Figure Arts Turtles, I don't know if I could.
Speaking of which,
Nobody can
SH
afford
Figure Arts, SH Figure Arts is
know.
coming out with Turtles, which I'm
know.
getting, and they look awesome.
you like-
Mondo's coming out with Turtles that look incredible. Good Smile just had their statues.
Which are
NECA's
cool.
coming out with the quarter scale Turtles. First one's Donatello, and NECA needs to release that SDCC as individual figures. And
So what is the SDC set? Right, it's the 4 turtles
sets.
in right. There's 2
Yeah.
sets. The one is the 4 turtles in the Super Nintendo coloring.
yes,
Right.
yes,
And then we
other
got
one
an
is
an orange foot, a gray foot.
and white.
It's orange and white
No, orange, white, and
gray.
gray. I think it's
And then a shredder.
yeah.
That's
Which
the-
are all in the same design. It's
Yeah,
from the
they're
video
all in
game, yeah.
the video game line.
So good.
They both look awesome. I want just that orange foot soldier.
I want both of them, both sets.
I mean, here's the thing. I know I'm going to be on eBay getting those sets, and I know I'll probably spend whatever ridiculous price because nobody's going to be able to get those for me.
Does NECA ever do SDCC sales on their website or anything? No.
No.
See, that's what kills me. All these
hate-
places need to learn from Hasbro.
Exclusives cannot be like they need to be repaints, not exclusive only. Like you'll never get this figure unless you cut off your arm and use it to
See, everybody hates Hasbro.
commit
which
voodoo
you
to
should.
buy
I
something.
hate
Yeah,
Hasbro.
right.
But at least they make their exclusives possible to get. Like when they go
on
up.
Hasbro Toy Shop. Yeah.
Like all the Comic-Con sets will go up on
Yeah, but their
Hasbro Toy Shop.
exclusives are so bleh.
Well, this year I'm not even
This year
buying
they
it,
are,
so-
but
Yeah, I mean, well, no. Last year, the only thing that excited me was that Book of Dormammu. or
The Vishanti, the Book of Vishanti
yeah,
set?
Book of Vishanti set. I don't know. Like, I've not been really. I mean, here's the thing. You know what's sad about Hasbro is that, and I've been to Comic Con 3 times. Every time I've went, Hasbro has like everything left over at the end. There's
Really?
always the one thing.
Really?
Like last year, the one thing was the book.
The Book of
And
Vishanti.
everything else was there because I remember I called
Uh-huh.
Evan and I was like, "Hey, should we get some of these Transformers for the store?" And he was like, "I don't know, man." Like, because it was the last day of the con and they still had boxes of that big Transformer, the Devastator, I think it was.
oh, okay.
And
Yeah, the old
I don't know.
Constructicon set.
I feel like SDCC's, and again, this is just one man's opinion, but I feel like the con exclusives that are not Funko have kind of died down. The only thing keeping this raving, mad, oh my God, has to, go nuts thing is Funko at the moment.
And Funko needs to freaking quit it because
Yes, they do.
Man, what are they doing? 8 to 9 waves?
9
What
weeks.
the-
Nine weeks.
Yeah, that's what
What in
Dustin
the
said
world?
yesterday.
That's
Yeah.
insane. That's insane.
Yep.
I don't care how many licenses you have. That has to be.
Well, and some of
It's
them
untenable.
and some of them are just complete crap. Like last week, I think it was just like a bunch of bears from something I never heard of, and like I love Huckleberry Hound too, but like a Huckleberry Hound Dorb, like okay,
Well, and I
that's-
know
Well, they need to quit doing
the Dorbs. Yeah, the
Dorbs
Dorbs.
are
Nobody
stupid.
likes
No,
Dorbs.
nobody
No
likes
one likes
Dorbs.
Stop doing them.
Nobody likes
Right.
Dorbs. Dorbs are DOA.
But then like the Haunted Mansion pops.
Yeah.
Why are those not at Disney? Like we were there, we couldn't. They had pops, but we couldn't.
because they're insanely popular.
Well, I
And
don't
they just-
understand. They're only going to make 1,000 a piece of these 4 hitchhiking ghosts or whatever it is, and like.
And
at
I could have got
SDCC?
the original ones. I could have gotten those so many times, but I just passed on them because I'm stupid.
Pretty expensive. now.
Well,
but
no,
now
I
they're
could have gone
crazy.
to retail because I had people there where they were there.
Yeah, no,
and
I'm
they're-
saying is that now they're really expensive.
Oh yeah, they're like friggin' $300 or $400 a piece. Or
insane.
something
It's
stupid.
ridiculous. Well, Funko seems to always be the problem, though. When I know from just knowing people on the inside at SDCC and at other companies like Kid Robot and Loyal
Sure.
Subjects and everything, that Funko is hated by San Diego Comic Con as well, not by other vendors, but they can't stand how Funko seems to. They almost last year there were a number of fights that broke out at Funko's booth. I witnessed one of them.
No
Like,
way. You actually saw it?
yeah, I was right because Kid Robot's booth was right next to it, and so my buddy Julian, he's one of the head guys at Kid Robot. I was hanging out there just talking with him, shooting the shit, and this guy pushed this kid to the ground and said something like, "Just because you're a kid, you're not going to cut." And was like, because
my
I
goodness.
originally thought like, oh, it must have been a mistake. No, it was like a straight up shove. Well, the guy's father didn't take too kind to that, and he was a massive, like, muscular guy. I think
Wrong kid to push around.
I think I heard at one point that he was in the military, but he confronted the guy, told him to apologize. The guy said no, and then pushed him. And it's like, at
my.
that point, you're being an idiot. So, of course, the guy hauled off and punched him in the mouth. The other guy went
Right.
straight to the ground and, like, collapsed. They ended up, this part I heard secondhand, but they ended up wheeling the guy out on stretcher. I saw that part. But they kicked the guy out that got knocked out, and they banned him for life. And the person that punched him, SDCC said it was fine because it was justified based on what everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
What everybody
Well,
else
that's
saw.
good. Good on SDCC. That
It
sounds
is,
like
no,
they managed you
SDCC
well.
is great, but
Funko.
the thing that and that's what. So while this fight was going on, this is why Funko is hated by not just other vendors but by SDCC. While that fight was going on, Funko decided to appease the crowd that was getting nervous because they were losing people in line. They started throwing out free T-shirts, so people were, like.
So let's make more chaos.
Exactly. It was this chaotic thing, and it was just,
Yikes.
it was chaotic.
Yikes.
And that last year, and this was reported on, so I heard about it at the con and didn't know if it was true or not, but it was actually reported on. STCC told Funko that we don't need you here. We will sell out regardless. If you guys don't control your crowds next year, you're out. You're done.
You have to.
You're
you have to do that.
So I'm curious to see what happens next year if they realize that they have to. Well, here's the thing too. The funny thing is, those aren't Funko employees. That's the other thing that I learned last
really?
year that made me a little mad. Because I know Funko's a very small company when it comes to employees. There's about 40 people. All right.
Really?
I know most of the salespeople at Funko. That from distributors and everything,
Yeah.
and from going to Toy Fair. I've met Brian, the
Right.
owner of Funko, twice. I know them. I found out that the people that work at the SDCC are like volunteers that Funko hires, and they usually have like one Funko person there, and the other people are all like they call them their con specialist. It's like they go to cons and they do con stuff.
Well, they need to train them better. one
Yeah,
way
no,
or the other.
exactly.
Like,
They're
no matter
just,
what it is, you need to train them better.
It's-
because it really is. It's one of those things that Jennifer and I, we love the nerd geek comic book action figure con community. We love it because they're usually very friendly. Like, despite the fact that you're elbow to elbow and shoved in places like sardines, but when it comes to lines for exclusive crap, it can get hairy. Or even lines for like a panel or whatever.
Yeah, I have no interest.
Well,
I-
it's really the lines for exclusive stuff because you got to
It
remember.
really is,
I would say that
exclusives and stuff.
90% people in those lines are resellers, and it's
Oh,
all
yeah,
these people.
absolutely.
That kills me.
It's these people that come in with
Just
these
kills
massive
me.
bags, and they're like, "Oh, I've got to resell and everything else." And
So
It's just-
as a goer as someone who's been there a long time,
Well,
like
no,
you feel pretty confident it's
well-
mostly resellers.
well, yeah, and that's what's frustrating on two levels because as someone that is a fan and as someone that owns a store,
Right, double bogey.
I don't understand people that rely on their profit margins to come out of resales because here, for the time and effort that I would have to put in to
Yeah.
wake up at 6 a.m. to get tickets for the Funko line, to sell a pop at 5 times the cost of a
Right.
pop. The time and effort to put that in,
It's not
I
there.
could give two craps. I never understood the gougers and certain stores that gouge. I mean, there are stores that I know of that hold things back to
No
let the
way.
hype go up,
Yeah.
Right.
and then they
Yeah.
release it out. And I don't understand it because the way I look at it is it hurts the overall culture of what
That's how
you're building.
that's how I look at it.
I'm fine with buying from my distributor at usually at the lowest a 30% profit margin, at the most about a 60%. I'm fine with that because that's what MSRP
And I'm fine with you getting a profit margin.
Yeah, and that's
when
the
you're
deal
buying
that you
from the
make.
distributor and the wholesaler. Like, I have no beefs whatsoever with normal retailers. It's the resellers, the aftermarket crud.
And the thing that what makes me a little peeved at it is I get lumped in with them. These
Because you own a
these aren't
shop.
people that own shops. These are people, guys, that just have eBay storefronts.
Right.
These aren't people that have shops and everything, because if they did, they wouldn't have the time to stand in line at 6 a.m. and everything. If they have the time to do that, they're not running a very good shop.
Right.
So it's these people that these Johnny come lately eBay sellers that are just these
Ugh.
I'm a businessman because I sold a pop at 5 times the margin. No, you're not. You're an opportunist, is what you are.
You're a
You
thief.
found an opportunity, and you preyed on people. That's what you are. I mean, it's just
Yeah, I mean, that's a regular bone for all of us collectors, because we know it happens. And honestly, outside of the culture changing, like, no company can stop people from doing that.
No.
One way or the other, which is unfortunate. But turtles,
no, but they could stop with the
exclusives and stuff.
crazy amount, the crazy limited. Funko's doing this thing now where they're like 500 of this or 1,000 of that. It's like,
I know,
oh my god,
that's
are you
insane.
kidding me? Like
That's why I do like Hasbro exclusives typically, because it's usually a repaint
yeah.
of a figure that's already available or has been available.
Well, they release it later sometimes too.
or they release it
Yeah.
later, and it's still unique, and they package it well. They package
Yeah.
it like they do the couple of things of a repaint or an additional head or an additional accessory, and then they put it in a right set with some certain team members and things. And so for those people who need it, there's a lot of value to it. But then for those of us who are like, yeah, I don't need that right now. Like, it allows for there to be the right kind of demand, rather than the like, oh my goodness, this is the only way I'm ever going to be able to get this.
Yeah.
Somehow I need to find my firstborn and sacrifice it so that I can obtain this. Like,
Yeah,
All you have to do for me is have a nice theme set.
Right.
Like, if it's the theme set, I will shell out.
even if
money
it's
for it.
figures you already have.
Yeah.
Well, that's why
Like,
that one set
Right.
doesn't make any. Well, I was
Oh,
about
and
to
this
curse
new
there.
this
that
new
one
set makes no
doesn't make.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this
just,
new set is complete garbage. I'm not even buying it.
I
I
mean,
mean,
cells. I think.
I'm
they're,
sure the theme is some kind of like it's the
only thing I want is Purple Man.
vaults or
I
whatever.
just want Purple Man, but don't
Which-
care about the set.
Right. Well, it's just
I
a
don't
weird
care
set
about
because the
any of it.
villains. Okay, because here's the deal: you want to make a prison set
Don't put Spider-Man
of
in.
Spider-Man's rogues.
That's fine.
Totally different,
Yeah.
right? They're all
Right,
Spider-Man's
yeah.
rogues. But this is Abomination, not
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Okay,
No,
only hero.
Enchantress?
Yeah,
Purple Man-
Enchantress,
Purple
not
Man's not
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
Purple
either.
Man, not Spider-Man. Sandman, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then what's the other one? Oh yeah, I can't remember his name.
Spider-Man's-
Knight. It's a
Something
Dread Knight.
Dread Knight thing.
I don't even
Iron
know
Man
who that is.
villain.
I don't know who that is.
Old school '90s Iron Man villain. Like,
The only figure I even like
Useless.
in that set is the Enchantress.
I know, which guy has got to come out some other time.
Like, why didn't you just make like something to do with Ragnarok, like a Thor
That's
set?
true.
Or another, like, as stupid as it was to do Book of Ashanti last year when Doctor Strange is coming out this year.
Yeah, I mean,
Why wouldn't you just do, like, I wouldn't complain if they did another Doctor Strange
Another Doctor-
themed
I
set.
would've bought it.
I would have bought it too. But,
But-
this set, like, if this is true, if this is truly the set, which I don't know how it's not.
The pictures
Easy.
came out.
Well, the pictures came out, but no one has confirmed.
Oh, confirmed
It's
it?
all
Yeah,
rumors
okay.
and stuff.
I mean, that's got to be what it
It's
is.
got to be what it is. But I mean, it's easy
I
pass
just
for
don't
me.
understand how you go from like Thunderbolts,
Yeah.
Galactus Machine, or the
Yep.
Thanos Imperative,
Yeah.
to the Book of Ashanti,
Right.
to this.
This makes no sense because you're right. All the other ones were really cool themes. Oh, X Force was another one that they had.
I haven't
and
seen
the,
anything
what
coming out
was-
this year.
What was the jungle one? Like what was that set that came out in the past? Oh crap!
With the Kazar and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not new Marvel Legends though.
I haven't seen anything SDCC that's excited me other than that NECA Turtles and the Green Goblin the Funko Green Goblin with the glider.
I didn't care about that. That's
And-
like the fourth one they've come
Well,
out
I know that's my problem with Funko
I
too. is,
I like the
with
fact that he's on the
Pops.
glider.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the. But anyway, that
Yeah.
that one's coming out at Barnes and Noble though because it's a
Oh, really?
summer it's a summer exclusive one.
Okay, cool.
Not a.
And that's the other thing with Funko, and then we got to move on to Turtles. But the other thing with Funko is they make stuff, they hype it up like it's gonna be this crazy exclusive,
Uh-huh.
and then you're like at Hot Topic later, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
hell? This is here.
People.
yeah,
you're like, wait, what?
Hot Topic will have some, and Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, like a couple of real
Well,
sellers
the,
will have
the,
them,
only,
and-
the biggest thing and last thing, and then we'll
Yeah, that's fine.
The biggest thing that drives me nuts with Funko is, and I know this sounds horrible, but it's some of the fans, not all the fans of Funko, but it's some of the fans. It's like I've never met a more know-it-all-y group of people of like, you know, they like I every year I go to Toy Fair. I absolutely love it when the fun I hear all these Funko people, and yeah, I mean one of them works for me, and the people that like think that they know everything, and then they'll be like, hey, this and this is coming out, and I'm like, I'll be there in front of the owner of Funko like having a conversation. They're like, you don't know, and I'm like, well, all right, I can. Like they always have this sense of like, you know, that they're in the Funko, you know, the Geist and everything. Like,
Right.
oh, we're part of the. They talk to us too. Like they don't. They you know, like you. And here's the thing that I always I told one customer one time. The person was like telling me about all the things that they said they heard. They go, I heard about all of these, and they listed everything off. And they came back, and like nothing had happened for a year. And I was like, I don't think any of those are going to happen that you talked about. And then they mentioned like, well, this one and this one happened on the list. And I was like, well, if you throw a dart at a board, Funko does everything.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I can.
Right.
Here's the thing. I can name 3 franchises right now that I guarantee you one of those 3 will become a Funko Pop line at some point.
Right.
So like, it's just it's I don't know. Like I like a lot of the Funko customers, but I would say some of the like biggest Facebook headaches I've dealt with have been like Funko people on just like.
I'm just sad
they
the
get too
legacy.
intense.
I'm sad the legacy line is gone.
What's Legacy line?
It's their sad attempt at action figures.
Oh, their action figures are gone?
Yeah, they were good. I liked them. The first wave of Game of Thrones figures were a little brittle, but
No,
after
but
that they were awesome.
The Evolve one looks good.
Yeah, but that's the last line of them.
No, the last line was the Fallout, because those I still have those in the store.
That's not.
Is that
Oh,
not
that is
Legacy?
that is Legacy. You're
that
right.
must be
You're
Legacy.
right. You're right.
And those look good.
They're great, but yeah, they're not doing it anymore.
No, that sucks.
I know. I hate it because they had cool properties.
Yeah, they have really cool. I would love to see more video game action.
I would love to
figures.
see more. I mean, NECA does
Yeah, but
good stuff, but
NECA's got like this old video game kick, and it's like, guys, like, okay, yeah, I don't care about the Rocky video game version.
yeah.
Like, like you know,
Dustin has the Kratos.
I have the
from God
Kratos
of War.
too. Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
picked that up yet. I'm hoping they do one in his Ares armor because I know there's an old NECA Ares armor Kratos. I'm hoping they redo.
I
him with all
really
the
like
cool
this Ultimate
articulation.
one. I mean, you can tell by how much I like it, by how many I ordered at the store. I ordered one whole case that sold out, which was 12, and then I ordered another 2 cases. I have a ton at the store, but yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a good figure. It's a really, really good figure. They're doing another
He's got it
one.
out of the box in there. He needs to put the gauntlets on it though. Those gauntlets are amazing.
It's heavy. You're not an out-of-box collector, don't you?
No,
Tom?
I'm not. But if you're gonna display it out of box, put the gauntlets on. They're
They're
amazing.
too heavy on him
We have tempted Dustin and Ashley with a few figures.
to be out of boxes.
No,
No,
just my build-a-figure.
Just your build-a-figure?
Actually, I will.
Well,
I'm
no,
gonna do the
he's-
hobgoblin. I'm gonna do the hobgoblin.
Right. He's never. They've never like. We like open them up in front of them and like watch parts of their soul die.
See, look,
And-
see that cool Spider-Gwen up there? You gotta open up your things to put them places.
See, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, turtles.
What is it? Oh, is it from 40-year-old version? Let it out of the box. Play with it.
Yes.
I love the fake Star Wars commercial from SNL
Yeah, that is the
before
best way
Force
to,
Awakens.
Yeah, that is
It's
the best way to.
so wonderful.
Yeah.
I bought 3, 1 to open, 1 to keep in box,
As a-
and 1 just because.
very-
It's like I fight that temptation to buy 3 of all of them, even though I don't display my stuff in box. Like I still find the temptation to not buy, and that's probably why Jennifer doesn't like turtles, because I buy so many of them. But there was an article on the Fwoosh.com that was talking about turtles.
That sounds like a made-up website.
It is not. and he just said, like, at some point in time, I just need to give into the reality that I'm going to rebuy these same 4 stupid turtle action figures named after Renaissance painters, into infinity.
Yeah, but the 90s toys were so good.
Well, they set you up for this.
But the 90s toys were so good at doing, like, even though it was, the same 4 turtles, they looked
They were
so,
different.
like there was that, I remember the one where Donatello was dressed up like a detective, and that was one of my favorite toys. I remember the Star Trek ones where they all were the Star Trek. Like, something about them, I think the molds and the sculpts look great. It wasn't just like a paint job change. It wasn't just like, let's put a new...
No, they weren't.
They came
were
with
good.
cool accessories. I loved the villain action figures. I loved the play sets. I hated the blimp. The blimp was stupid. They advertised it like it could fly in the commercial. It can't fly.
The blimp. I have the new
Can't
blimp.
fly.
I wish we could go back in time so we could compare mine and Brian's turtle.
I would
collection.
love to have done
Oh, you would be destroyed.
I feel
I
like
don't know,
you
man.
would probably beat me, but I would be close.
that. I think
Really?
it'd be close.
Did you have the Technodrome?
He had a ton of
Yeah.
stuff.
I
Did you? Did you have?
I
Did
had
you
all
have?
the vehicles, the van, the.
Did you have the sewer?
Blimp. Maybe I didn't have the sewer.
Oh, you didn't have the sewer. The
I
sewer
don't
was
remember.
awesome. It's a pain to get together sometimes.
It's hard to remember because I only had all of my turtles for like a span of a year.
Really? Oh, I went turtle.
Have you not heard the story?
No.
It proves you haven't listened to our podcast.
I told this
Just kidding.
story on our last episode, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell it again since it's turtle related. Back when I'm like first getting into turtles, 5, 6, maybe 7, I don't know. Started buying the toys, and my birthday came around that year, and I got no Ninja Turtles. All I got were like clothes, so I was just devastated. So that weekend after my birthday, Mom takes me to Grandma's house, and I'll run in the door screaming and crying, and Grandma's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I'm like, "I didn't get any Ninja Turtles for my birthday." So the next day, she takes me out and buys me like every Ninja Turtle toy that was out at that point in time, which was, I don't know, like 30, 40 Ninja Turtles, like all the different figures that were out. Well, she put them on layaway, and we got them out like a month later. I come over, and I'm playing with them, and like the whole weekend. Then Dad comes to pick me up that Sunday or whatever, and sees all these Ninja Turtles, and him and Grandma start fighting about it. And then next thing I know, he grabs all of them up, puts them in a garbage can, and smashes the hell out of them. All of them. Destroyed them all.
It's just
That's a strict dad.
It's nightmarish.
It pretty much scarred me for life. I've not even owned... The only Ninja Turtle toy that I own is my Donatello that's sitting on the table, which somehow survived all that time. And
It
Mom just
must
gave it
have
to
just
me.
escaped, and your mom found it. Yeah.
That's like
Wow.
a full circle story, though, because she gave that to me on my birthday,
Oh, really?
like last year.
That's awesome.
Well, Donatello's the best character, so that's why he survived.
He gets left out the most.
This
though.
is dramatic.
I know.
You need to go
isn't
to
it
therapy.
scarring?
You need to go to therapy.
His dad's just a piece
That's
of
why I
work.
collect so many toys now, I guess. No, my dad's a shredder. That's what I've deemed him as. Because Shredder is obsessed with destroying the turtles, and my dad is the real life Shredder that
Wow.
actually destroyed the turtles.
Wow. That's far too poignant.
Yeah, that is a very.
That's
He's a very wonderful
everyone
human
go buy
being.
Dustin Turtles. I hope of the few listeners that we just.
I really don't
Dustin
want your
just gets
dad to ever
Turtles
come to
mailed.
my store. I feel like he'd smash things.
Probably.
Oh man,
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's sad.
yeah.
That's
why
real
I don't, That's
sad.
why I don't have any Ninja Turtles anymore.
Do you feel like you're like scarred from buying new turtles?
I guess. I don't
Are you gonna get the figure arts ones?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely
I
not.
can't afford that.
My problem with the
I'm
my-
gonna the figure out.
my problem with the
Did you have
figure-
the crane?
The crane?
Yeah.
Like which one?
The big one and the small one.
The one that like sat in the chair?
Well, okay, no, I'm sorry. The crane robot, the big one that came with the crane that was the size of the turtles, and then the small one that was the size of the turtles. It was the whole robot. Did you not have that?
I'm sure.
Like his
I
Android.
had
Okay.
2 or 3 different versions of them.
What
And
do you have? The SH figure arts are amazing.
They are. They're fantastic, and I love that not only their feet but their whole lower leg is lead. It's or not lead, but die cast.
I was going to say, I don't
Wait,
think
what
they're
the
lead,
crap?
Brian.
They're die cast because
I think we kind of got away from that as a
I know,
society.
I'm pumped. That's really thoughtful. I wish more figure arts had die cast feet. They used to all have die cast feet, and they've like gotten away from it to save costs, which I appreciate. But then the cost of the turtles, they're just too much.
What is like 60?
They're $63.
Yeah.
So it's $62.99 is MSRP.
The
and-
Dragon Ball Z fig arts aren't even that expensive.
Well, you got to give them some credit. It's new sculpting and whatever.
Die
but
cast.
and the die cast is not going to be
They're
cheap.
bigger too. They're not.
They're still 1/12 scale.
Well, they're bulkier though.
Yeah,
than
I mean,
a
they've
Dragon
got
Ball
their
Z
shells
figure.
and stuff. They've got their shells and stuff, and I'm hoping that like later we'll get a re-release and they'll be cheaper now that the molds are in
Is it just
existence
the
or
4
something.
turtles right now?
Right now,
just the four turtles.
right now it's just the 2 turtles.
Yeah.
You can only order 2 of them. Right
You can
now.
only, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
all 4 will come out shortly,
The only
but
people that are getting me right now is who's that making the Krang and the Shredder? Shredder versions.
like the X Chokogen. Like it's like off-brand. They're like off-brand.
Mondo's not getting you. Those Mondos look
That
gorgeous.
giant Krang that looks amazing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Is it Mondo?
No. Mondo didn't make a crane. Mondo's making a really cool. Have you not seen the Mondo?
Because you're talking about the one, there's a Krang, a Shredder, and then they just announced Casey Jones.
I
Is that
didn't
what you're
see
talking
Casey
about? Yeah, they
Jones.
just
had,
like today.
2 different versions of Shredder.
Today or yesterday they announced. Okay, find a picture and show me. I think I know what you're talking about. Well, there's like an off.
This is the Mondos. Come with a ton of accessories.
Okay, no, I'm not talking about. I'm not.
They
thinking
have
of Mondo.
what I love about the Mondos too is they give you 2 heads, one with the
The
bandana,
old school-
and the old school one.
old school red.
And they
Everyone's
come with
got red.
and they come with the baby turtle. The Leonardo comes with a baby Splinter. Like the accessories and the look and the
What
feel.
scale are those, Brian?
Super articulated. 1/6.
Okay.
So I'm super
A little
excited
big for me,
about
but
that.
that's awesome. Those
yeah,
look
they
great.
are. There's also a Mondo's making a Casey Jones mask.
Cool.
And then there they are set up inside of the showcase at San Diego last year.
Bum-dum-dum-dum. Yeah, those are. Oh, and there's like they even have a maskless face
Yeah.
for some of them. That's cool. I like that one. Oh yeah, I've seen those Mousers.
Yeah, the Mousers. I'm really excited about. Mondo's really getting into some toy lines now, and I'm liking it a lot.
Well, to your point earlier, like Playmates has held on to the Turtles license with a vice grip.
Yes, but it's up now. It's.
But is that what it is? It's up
yeah.
now.
Yeah. So.
Is it up universally,
Yeah,
or
that's
have
why
they
it's-
broken it up like how Disney broke up Star Wars licensing? Because there are however many different Darth Vaders in the 1/12 scale from however many different high-end like Japanese lines. You know what I mean?
It's up universally. It's
up universally,
that's
okay.
why you got SH Figure Arts, you got NECA, you got Mondo, you got. I know I'm forgetting another Good Smile to the statue. There's Prime One's doing statues now.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful statues. They're $1,200 for all 4 of them.
One of the things I like about the Turtles is in the Playmates lines of old and of recent, they can have a lot of fun putting them in different costumes and stuff, and the Turtles just kind of lend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Each character is so archetypal, the goofy guy, the smart guy, the leader, the stoic leader, and then the just hardcore bad guy, or
The muscle.
the muscle guy, and so it like translates really well to all kinds of silly things, whether it's a business suit or a football costume or a space suit or LARPing or whatever. And there's a lot of play value there, but also with all the new license with the license opening up, we've seen all kinds of different styles of just the regular Turtles, not putting them in different costumes and things.
Well,
but
the
we've
Good
seen
Smile's a good example.
the Good Smiles. That's exactly what I'm
yeah.
thinking of. Is they're the cool statues with them like standing on the sewer pillars.
Yeah.
That's a very unique. I've never seen the Turtles done in that style before.
It was
they
made
look
for
really
that.
great.
It was made for that. Artist made it for those statues, and the Turtles they can lend themselves to. I mean, I have 2 art prints of 2 different styles.
Yeah,
of Turtles.
I love those prints you have.
It's because they all fall in an archetype of leader, muscle, smart, and party dude.
Right.
You can really make those in so many different ways and so many different styles and everything. I love in one of the cartoons they actually shaded them different colors of green.
Yes, I love that. Well, that's the current one.
Oh, his current one, yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about when Playmates restarted the line based on the new series is all 4 of the turtles are in drastically different green plastic.
No, which is awesome.
They're cast in drastically different plastic. It's fantastic, and not only that, they're different heights
This thing's so amazing.
when they don't need to. What is
First Goken is
first Goken. That's exactly
that Krang.
That
Have you
Krang.
seen that?
Oh, shut up.
It's
How do you not have that? It's out already. The Krang is out. The Shredder, we finally got full colored pictures of the first Shokin Shredder. Although it's not officially licensed, so none
Is
of
this
us,
the out?
the Krang is out.
Where?
I have no idea.
The Ether.
What's the price range on it?
I don't
Good-
care.
good
you're,
God,
you're on
I don't
Amazon.
know.
I don't want.
You know,
Amazon, it says not available, but
it's not available because it's probably sold out.
Yeah.
It's been out for a little bit now.
Oh my God, $375? That can't be right.
Well, it's a Chokogen, okay? So you have to remember that there's going to be a lot of metal. Okay? It's in the Chokogen stuff in Japan is robots and
How do you spell
mecha.
how do you spell Chochokin?
Well, it's first
Goken.
Cho-
Gokin.
yeah, so it's similar to how Transformers now has like third party Transformers that aren't licensed.
$155. I'm buying one.
Was retail.
Please do. I want to see it.
Yeah, no, we're doing an unboxing on this. I'm definitely buying one.
Yeah,
If
so
you
the
haven't seen
Shredder.
this thing, look it up. It's
Yes.
is
Say it
amazing.
again. Say the
First-
company and the name of the.
First Goken. It's 10-inch Krang android body figure.
Well, they don't call it Krang because they can't.
That's what I mean. That's what it says on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it says here too. But on
Maybe
the
they
box,
did get the license.
No, it's not. On the box it says it's NT01 cerebral.
Right.
It's 10 inches tall,
'Cause-
fully articulated.
Because the Shredder is like NTO2, the Shred, or something like that.
Yeah, this is called the cerebral.
He's got the stomach part that opens up.
He's
where
got
Krang
light
goes
up
inside.
features.
Yeah, there's lights inside.
There's lights and stuff.
Oh wow, the shredder's really nice too.
The Shredder is not out yet, but he is gosh darn sexy.
Yeah.
And the Casey Jones just got announced the last couple of days, maybe even today. I can't remember when I saw
You
it.
gotta love
Third party stuff.
yeah, third party stuff.
Well, it's so funny because
I want
it
to buy.
just
I want to
shows-
buy this. I'm just trying to say what site. Like you never know who to trust with these
Check
third parties.
Ami. Check
No,
Ami
I'm
Ami.
on eBay. Well,
Oh, okay.
You're saying check.
Ami might have them. I don't know. AMI.
I'm just trying to look for a good seller.
Any hoozle. Yeah, I mean it's cool to see. It's cool to see when third-party developers and companies step up and say, "Hey, we can tell there's a need for a high-end collectible or whatever, and we know there's a need." And it's just like I give them props, but then I also kind of like want to wave my finger and tisk the other companies who have that license and be like, "Way to totally miss it."
Right.
You know. But the thing with third-party people is they can say, "Hey, we're gonna go nuts," and they just know fans will pay for it, and they aren't scared of the risk of having a figure cost $200 because they know people will buy it. But like the Hasbros, the Playmates, the Mattels of the world are just too afraid to ever make something and let it, fail or succeed on its own merits.
Right.
That's why Mattel has all these subscription services that kill their lines. I would buy Lion-O and stuff. What? Okay, you need to edit this out because I am totally Thundercats. Oh my gosh,
Oh.
I would totally buy some Thundercats, but I'm not going to subscribe. I'm not going to give Mattel money before I see the sculpts, before I know what figures I'm going to get.
So this is
I'm not
10 inch
gonna-
tall.
Yeah, they're big. Yeah,
Sorry.
those Gokens are big. So anyway,
no, not that. Is this a Goken?
it's first Goken. Is that what you're
I
saying?
thought
Goken.
Goken was
G-O-K.
Dragon Ball Z person.
Goku.
No.
I don't know.
Oh, Brian.
off my
Oh,
podcast.
Brian.
I don't know.
Yeah, you might
Oh.
get kicked out of here this
Well,
if you keep
it-
talking like that.
No, here's the thing. Dragon Ball Z is stupid.
Whoa. Hey, remember that word you couldn't pronounce earlier? That might happen to you.
Well, I just
Yeah,
bought,
you need to not say anymore and put that shovel down
I just bought one.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
through eBay, through the electronic bay.
Yeah, this
.com?
guy had a really good seller rating. He's in the U.S. too, so I get it soon.
If anybody wants to
Noise.
wants a 10-inch crane, just look up Brian Barrow and
No.
intercept this package.
No, it's mine. It's my
It's
10-inch
mine.
crane. I'm totally distracted right now. I'm just sitting here.
Brian just like can't believe. This is why you need to hang out with us more, Brian, when we invite you and tell you to come to things. So that
I
we
don't
can,
get invited.
So that we can tell you about cool action
I
figures
never
that
get
you don't know
invited.
about.
I never get
We know toy
invited.
stuff. You always get invited.
Yeah, the next time you and Evan have like a sit down, like here's what we're gonna order, you need to call Dustin and I and be like, hey,
I used to call Ashley.
are there any
Ashley
figures? Are there any
Ashley.
figures?
Ashley knows because of us.
Right. Go directly to the source, brah.
she-
Directly to the source.
Do you want to know Funko or Build-A-Bears? Go to Ashley.
Funko, Ashley, Build-A-Bears, definitely Jennifer.
Yeah.
Ashley too, but then Jennifer's her direct source probably. Although Ashley has joined the Facebook groups now too, and the Facebook groups are quite intense.
What, the Funko?
No, the Build-A-Bear
Build-A-Bear.
Facebook groups.
Oh
They
my
are
gosh.
they are sleuths, man. They figure stuff
Back
out.
to Turtles.
Yes, back to Turtles.
Okay.
Speaking
Let's-
of Build-A-Bear and
let's-
Turtles, there's
I'll-
new Build-A-Bear Turtles. Go get some.
No Build-A-Bear Turtles. No more Build-A-Bears. They're buying They're out buying Build-A-Bears right now because they don't want to be on Ninja Turtle podcast. Okay, I want to ask what your favorite Ninja Turtle is.
Are you talking about the toy? or
like
are you talking
character?
about-
No,
Turtle-
character. Just
character?
character in general.
I mean,
Donatello.
I have to say Michelangelo. 2 reasons. One,
You're a pothead.
I fancy myself the goofy guy.
2, you're a pothead.
What? No, that's like all the turtles. Okay, that's not just Mike.
Michelangelo puts jelly beans on pizza.
The creation of the turtles is a pothead scenario. So, anywho, I have to say I like to fancy myself the silly guy, and then B, I like, since I can remember, had a Michelangelo stuffed animal that went with me everywhere. I mean, I still have it.
Is it a Build-A-Bear?
It is not a Build-A-Bear. No. And it just was, that was my, that was my stuffed animal that I've had since I was, 2 or something. And it, every time we traveled, if I didn't have Turtle, and it was just Turtle, but it was a Michelangelo, but I called it Turtle. But if I didn't have Turtle, like, there would be hell to pay.
I called it turtle.
I just called it Turtle. Creative, right? Like later, I was like, I know this is Michelangelo. It says M on his belt,
I just called it
but I just called it Turtle.
just turtle.
It's just Turtle. So, Mike, I have to say Michelangelo.
We're going to
I
do an
have to say
unboxing on
Michelangelo.
that crane, by the way.
All right. Well, yeah, we're in.
No, you guys don't host the show. It's Breaking the Seal with John Myers and Brian Barrow.
Well, can we join you?
Yeah,
I'm not saying we're hosting the show.
I guess.
Gee whiz, we're not megalomaniacs.
Not the missus. It's too many people.
Well, who's in the room when I say we?
Okay. I don't know.
Jennifer and I are not a royal.
Hey,
a royal we.
most married people always speak for, like, when you get one, you have to get both.
Oh, well, Jennifer and I love doing everything together, but we also know that we can't. We
I'm
aren't
not
attached
married,
to it.
and we still do that. So
Yeah.
I'm just
It
saying.
works.
Ashley won't be on the YouTubes anyway.
She already is on the YouTubes.
you sound like a grandpa. Ashley's not going to be on the YouTube.
Ask the Google. Ask the Google.
Is
It
her
knows
whole,
the
is her whole
things.
body on it or just her hands?
She's on her whole body.
Oh, really? She did face and everything?
Brian,
Ashley's
right
on
now-
the YouTube.
right now, I feel a little underappreciated.
Yeah.
You don't know that we have one YouTube video up.
It's Thanos unboxing.
It's the Thanos unboxing.
I know what it is. I just
Did
never
you-
watched it.
why didn't you watch it?
Because I have a Thanos unboxing.
Well, whose fault is that? Yours. That's what I'm gonna say.
Ashley did her full face and everything.
Yes.
What?
Go watch it. It's wonderful.
Oh, good job, Ashley. I'm proud.
Back to Turtles.
I'm excited about
My
that. crane
favorite's
I just bought.
Donatello, by the way. Nobody asked me.
Well, I thought we were gonna go in circles.
Yeah, I
and
thought we
then
were going
Brian
in
went on.
circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dustin, what's your
Mine's
favorite
Donatello.
turtle? Donatello
Why
for
is yours
Dustin.
Donatello?
Mine is Donatello for a couple reasons. First, he was one of the first things I had was the big Donatello toy, and I like his weapon. And I like when I got to know who Donatello was more. I've always liked the smart nerd in the group. I've always kind of appreciated that role in the group. So that's why I liked him.
It's pretty much the same for me. Plus, I like purple. I always seem to
Purple's a royal
gravitate
color.
towards purple.
They
Yeah.
say
I will
that
say that I do not like the first and third movie Donatello.
What?
Because I hate Corey Feldman.
Interesting.
Oh, is that who plays him?
That's the voice of him in the first and third.
You know they say
Whoa,
that, you
I
know they
didn't know
say
that.
that people that gravitate towards purple and the color purple and the color green have higher IQs than others.
Yeah,
So it's interesting.
makes sense.
It's fantastic.
Interesting little tidbit there. I don't know how true that is based off it was something on like Time that I read it way back in the day. It was before the internet. It was pre-internet.
The study was
pre-internet.
based off me, so
Pre-internet.
obviously
There you
It
go.
was,
doesn't account for us.
Meanwhile, I'm the dunce with the orange in the corner.
well, yeah, I mean that's Michelangelo's not really the smart one in the group, Ryan.
Nope.
So
Okay, what was your favorite toy as a kid? Ninja Turtle toy.
My favorite Ninja Turtle toy as a kid. It would be a toss up between the spacesuit Raphael, because I just love. That's the one I'm remembering. I'm sure I had all the spacesuit ones, but I remember that. And I'm gonna slaughter his name, but Shellhead. What's the robot one?
Metalhead.
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 I had that. I love that toy because it reminded me of a Transformer. It was like the perfect mix of a turtle toy and a Transformer because it had the light piping for the eyes, like that Transformers have and stuff, and then the vac metal and stuff. I loved it. So
I'm going to say first. I'm going to start this by saying the worst Ninja Turtle toy that was created was and I love the character, but it was two of them. It was the panda one they created,
I love the panda.
and the Yosagi Yojimbo because they broke all the time. They had like
They were just really crappy.
they really brittle like joints in it, and they broke all the time, and the little pieces would come off. They had armor pieces that would come off all the time. But my favorite would have to be one of them would have to be the now recalled pizza shooter. It was basically it had plastic
Yeah.
pizza discs that went in and shot. It's
yeah,
recalled now. And the other one that I liked a lot was, I don't know why, but I really like that Detective Donatello. I
Why
know
was
I
it
brought him up
recalled?
twice. Because it was plastic shooting out of the thing. It was just some kid poked his eye or something. and-
that's funny. So
but
you like the Detective Donatello?
I don't know why. Something about that. I've
Was
said
it- is it
twice in
Don or
this show.
Leo?
It's Don.
It's Don.
I've said it twice in this show. Talking about that one. I mean, there were so many I liked, and then so many of them that just had cool designs, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this design's so cool. But yeah, that one stuck out as something that I don't know why I really like. Just he had a trench coat. It was just really cool to me.
Oh.
I also like the Technodrome a lot.
You sure?
So
What about you, Dustin?
Mine was stupid. I liked Ray, the mutated manta ray.
Oh, I love that one.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
No, Ray was awesome.
I
No,
mean, the
Ray
character
was.
stupid, but
No,
that was,
toy.
that was my favorite toy when I was a kid.
Funny enough, do you know Ray is like one of the cheapest toys you can still buy nowadays? And then in the turtle line,
Really?
I've never.
They because he was packed in 2 waves, and he was case packed heavy in the second wave. So he's like out there everywhere. I love that Ray toy though. Yeah, I took him in the bathtub all the time.
I've never seen this. Let me see.
Yeah, so
Apparently I need to buy one. I didn't know they were.
yeah, he's really.
Is it REY or
I think it's RAY.
RAY?
I think it's
R-A-Y.
he was a lot of
a
fun though. He had
manta
really
ray.
big really big friends.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was really cool.
That one and one of the Slash toys I really liked. And what was the lizard's name?
Which one? Not Leatherhead, not the alligator.
No, the like,
Oh,
like
the lizard, the
skateboarding.
cool, the Michelangelo's friend. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
remember his name, but is he? It was.
Yeah,
it,
I think that's right.
But yeah, he was cool. He was really cool. Well, I remember the guy remember the sumo wrestler that came with tattoos.
Yeah.
His name was Tattoo. You would put tattoos.
Great
on it.
names.
It would
Those are
never.
great
They would
names.
never stay on. But man, I had. It's just so. There's this guy that sets up at cons that sells nothing but old turtle toys. Really nice guy, and every time I see him, I have to it's almost like I need a support. Like Evan's my support
Yeah.
group. Like I have to go to someone and say, your job this con is to stop me from buying that booth. Because like every time I go over there and I'm just like, I have to all of
I
this.
get you.
Because
I
like what
get
would I
you.
do with it? I'm not gonna.
Oh,
If
yeah.
I like one thing he has that I. Really, is he still the thing that's awesome is he still has like the Technodrome in the box. Like he's still, and I'm just like I want to open that again and play with it.
Yep.
But then it's like, what would I do with it? What would I
Do you
like?
have one of those?
I know.
Technodrome?
Like still?
It's probably in my parents'
Do you
basement.
still have your whole? Do you think outside of time, you know, do you think you have most of it
My
still
parents,
at home?
well, the house I grew up in, my parents still live in, but I think it had water damage at one point, and my dad said he threw a lot of stuff away, so I doubt it. You know, there's probably remnants of bits and pieces floating around, but the whole collection's definitely gone.
I feel like floods are like the number one thing that either parents lie about using as a reason to throw your stuff away, or actually
No, ours
happens.
was definitely that.
I believe your
the
parents. I'm
Highlands,
saying like the water just is
It's
nasty.
better
man.
than the maliciousness of your father.
Yeah, no,
stopping
it's
them
way
at the
better.
No,
That's
my dad
awful.
put them in a box and beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Wow,
Really,
that's terrible, man. This is terrible.
That's what happened to like 3/4 of mine.
Oh my goodness.
The only remaining Donatello.
Ryan,
Wow.
don't you know that that's how 90% of turtle toys are lost? Your dad just beats the
Your
crap
dad-
out of
your
them.
dad just beating the hell out of them.
It's a really
Man.
common problem in society. No,
Yes.
yeah, I can't wait for that crane to come in. I mean,
It's a cool
I've been excited for it.
I'm excited for you.
first
I-
first Goken. It's
I
cool.
can't. Now that that's coming in, that Shredder is retailing at $250.
Yeah,
So
yeah, he's
that's
gonna be expensive.
That's gonna be probably have to wait a little bit on Shredder, but
Shredder's overrated. It's like Darth Vader.
I agree. I was always a Krang guy. A lot of people compare me and Evan to Shredder and Krang. I've always been a Krang guy myself.
See, I like Shredder, because I think he's got a great design that could be done really well. But I typically don't like the character. You know, he's just your
I
typical.
think they found the perfect
dumb
guy for him in this
bad
new
guy.
movie. Like everything about this new movie that I've seen, like I haven't
Yeah.
seen the movie itself.
I
but
know.
everything about it just looks perfect.
Bebop and Rocksteady are great.
It's like everything I've.
Yeah.
When
The
I first saw
trailer-
the trailer, I was like,
know.
"Holy crap!"
Well, you have to-
like the little kid in me was like,
That's what you had to realize.
Exploding.
And that's what I talked about on Nerdstalgia was this movie was just fun, and it reminded me a lot of being a kid again, because it
That's
wasn't.
good.
Right.
You know, the only bad part about the movie was Megan Fox. Unfortunately, she's just a brick.
She's the worst part of the movie.
She's
It's
horrible.
just poor acting.
But
Gets in the way.
as far as everything else goes, the feel, the tone, the fun, the turtles' voices, the jokes, the humor, Bebop and Rocksteady did great. It all well, hell, Krang and Shredder's interaction, that was incredible in the movie. It's
Oh,
very much
really?
like the old cartoon.
Cool.
Like, you know, like it's the interaction with, like, the first time they meet each other, Krang slaps Shredder with one of his tentacles and tells him to shut up. And it's like in the old cartoon when they bickered all the time.
That's
So
awesome.
it's really well done.
Tangent question, and then we'll go back to some toy questions. Do you like the typical Shredder, cartoon look, purple, black blades, or the first movie Shredder?
You're talking to me because I like the purple one.
Both of you guys.
Purple.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely the purple.
Yeah,
I
the
mean, I
first
like
one.
both, but I loved the first movie Shredder. I just remember the first time he walks in and he's draped.
He was too thin for me.
He's draped. I will give you that. No, he should have been roided out a little bit more. But
Like Kevin Nash Super Shredder mode.
yeah.
You know that's Kevin Nash, right?
Yeah.
No, is it
You didn't
really?
know that? Yeah.
That was Super
That's awesome. No, I
Yeah.
did not know that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Matt Gaither interviewed him one time.
Really?
Pretty nice guy.
That's
yeah.
awesome. Anywho, so one other figure that I loved a lot, and this is just speaking of the fact that turtles do so many random things, is there was a Leonardo that had like samurai dragon armor that not only could go on him and be like samurai cool armor, it also turned into like the armor could be taken off and turned into a dragon.
Well, that reminds me of kind of like they had a line of
loved that.
turtles that were Transformers for a while.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Donatello turned into a
Yeah.
fire truck and everything else.
Or even the ones that
And that was a
turn
lot of
in
fun.
baby turtles into the normal turtles.
Yes. But while we're talking about lines of turtles, of course, one of the turtles had these awesome lines where they just did things that were pop culture related, like they had the Star Trek one. But what they did was
Oh, yeah.
really cool is they did 2 lines of Universal monsters. And they were incredible. You know, like it was.
What did they all have?
Well, like I think Donatello was Dracula. Somebody I forgot who was who, but
But they had werewolf. I remember the werewolf.
Werewolf, Donatello. Werewolf, Dracula, mutant man. What is it called? Mutagen man. No. What is it called? The one with the big head, like alien head.
Oh, it's a pizza monster, but it totally looks like the
I know
the
you're talking about,
xenomorph.
he's like purple and stuff.
Yeah,
Isn't he?
yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Then there was the Visible Man. They did every single Universal
remember that
monster. And it was awesome. So they do these
That's
awesome
cool.
lines that are just. They did like the beach line where they all had like beach outfits. They did the clown line where they were all clowns. One of them was a musician. That was kind of cool.
Did you have the like the Rock'em Sock'em figures?
Yes, I
They had
hated
the
those.
guns
I
that you
hated
could fight with?
the chest hits. With
Yeah.
the chest hits, yeah. I don't know why I never really I had them, but I did not like them.
I
that
know. I mean,
much.
I never played with like the gun. I always took the gun off. But
Yeah, well, I think that's why I didn't like because I was always like, oh, I could play with him. Never worked out. It was
Yeah.
never fun. But yeah, I had those. God, there were so many different turtles.
So there's so many turtles. I mean, that's the fun thing is you can ask that question and everyone has to sit there and go.
I didn't like buying the
Oh,
Aprils.
no.
I had most all the Aprils, but
Oh, really?
to me they were like there was this one April that even as a kid, and I know I can be a bit of a character on like Nerdstalgia and stuff, acting like a misogynist, but I'm not. And as a kid, there was this April figure that came out that was her as a cave woman, and I remember just being a kid going, "That's a bit much. That's a bit much." Like because they put like nothing on her. It was just a strip of
That's-
clothing here and a strip.
It's
I was like,
funny considering it's such
okay.
a kid
I
line.
remember that one
Yeah.
because I have another story where I was staying with I don't know who, some friend of mine's house over the weekend, and he had that figure like just like stuffed down in a bin in the basement because it wasn't big into Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles, and like I found it and I ended up trying to sneak it like out when I was leaving that weekend, and I got caught and I got in a bunch of trouble. But yeah, I remember that figure. It was really stupid.
It made no sense. It made no sense. It was definitely. It was somebody's wet dream that they decided to make an action figure of.
Unfortunately, that probably happens more often than not. Like there's a couple of figures that you're like, wait, what? And it's like
Well, the biggest thing I hated about
some
April
dude just
was
got
not
away with making that figure.
not the fact that she was a girl figure.
No.
But it was the fact that her legs would never. I remember my April figures never stood for long. They were loose almost immediately.
That's the problem with female action figures up until recently is they always pre-posed them, even if they gave them articulation.
Yeah.
They always pre-posed them in some hippie, like
Yeah.
suede hip pose where one leg ends up being longer than the other, and then there's typically heels involved, and so the figures have a wonky sense of balance.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they just fall over and get
Well, that's
messed
what
up.
always happened with my April one. So
Yeah.
I got so frustrated over time because I.
Well, it makes them not fun
went through so many
toys.
yeah, I went through so many of them.
I think that's one reason why female action figures have been hard to get a hold of or haven't been made much until recently. Is because when they were made by dum-dums.
Well, we're not even
Like they're just made stupid.
we're not even
so no one
talking
wanted
about the villains and the mutation people. Like,
Yeah.
Mutagen Man was one of them. The guy that had Junkyard, the guy that had like he had a sewer cap as his foot.
Yep.
You had oh God, how did I forget? Why did I forget about Ace Duck? He was one of my favorite. I loved the Ace Duck figure. You had so many. I had both versions of Ace Duck too, the wing and non-wing version. I loved Ace Duck.
Oh, that's cool.
Forgot how cool he was. I'm so glad they put him in the. Well, that's the other thing. The other licenses too. You got Funko has the Pops. You got Loyal Subjects.
Yep.
Kid Robot.
I've loved the Loyal Subjects.
Everybody's
one.
got
They're so cool.
and Kid Robot did Ace Duck in their line, which made me so happy. So made me so happy.
Yeah,
that
I'm
they put
jealous of those you have out there.
the Kid Robot ones.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're really cool looking, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's. I mean, that's what I really am digging about. About the licensing going everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I now can get things
The
like
creativity.
I can get my designer vinyls also
yeah.
as a turtle thing.
Yep.
It's really resurging the whole turtle collecting in my head. I have to I just dropped $168 with a suggestion of look at this. So I realize I need to rein back a little bit, but
Well, that brings a question to mind. Are we in a renaissance of turtle stuff, or is it just a overdone hype that's gonna like the bubble's gonna pop soon and then we're not gonna get any turtle stuff? Or do you think that this is going to last for a while.
I think this will last for a while because, again, this is something I constantly talk about owning a store. Market speaks for itself, and the market goes where the money's at. And right now, the money is in the generation that I'm in and you all are in, which is the generation that grew up with that. Turtles is they're very intelligent with what they're doing. They're keeping it alive with every generation. If you notice, what I mean by that is that the market with the Turtles is not going to die when we stop buying because they've already made another show that came out in 2007, and those people are growing up. And there's a show, or 2003, and there's a show going on now, and those people are growing up. And those shows aren't not popular. The one going on now, Brandon was telling me, is the #1 show on Nickelodeon. And the one in 2003 was their #1 show on Nickelodeon. And it wasn't our age group watching it. It was the younger kids.
It was the kids
So
at the time,
I don't think it's going to pop because it just seems to be Turtles is constantly in the mainstream media. It's been around since it started in 1984, which is when the comic book came out.
That's crazy.
It's been I was born in 85 and I'm 30 years old. It's been around and here's the thing. It's not like Doctor Who where it's like, oh, it's been around since the 50s or 60s and then Doctor Who went away for a while. Turtles has been around since 84 and has not stopped on anything.
Yeah.
It has been on in a constant, because I had to research all this for my podcast. It has not had a lull. There has been a show or a comic book or something or a movie that has constantly kept it going.
Interesting.
So it's
very interesting.
Do I see it popping? No. I think it's one of the most successful toy lines, to be honest with you. I'd like to see the numbers on it.
Well, that's why Playmates lives and breathes off of their Turtles.
I know. I go to their booth at I go to their booth at Toy Fair, and their booth at Toy Fair is the Playmates is one of the booths that you have to be invited in. It's all closed off. They don't let you take pictures. The press can take pictures, but not individuals.
Not hoi polloi.
And you go in, and you basically it's a square. You go to the left, and you go all the way around. The last part of it, the last little section is these
Turtles.
dolls that they sell line. Everything else is Turtles. Everything.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's just so that's where their money goes to, and that's what they care about. And I'm glad because they do justice to the line.
No harm, no foul. They do a great job with the line.
I think they do a great. Listen. I naturally kind of always am bitter towards the companies that sell at big boxes and at me because I feel it's kind of shitty sometimes to be in competition with a $1 billion company.
Competing with a company you ought not to have to compete
exactly.
with.
So that's why I love DC Collectibles because DC Collectibles is very much like you get it, they don't. Netco was like that for a while, but now they're in this whole mode where it's like Toys R Us and everybody else gets it. And
well, Toys R Us prices suck, so you shouldn't have to worry about that so much.
When their NECA is always on clearance now.
Exactly.
They have so much of it. It's always massive.
My favorite thing that I just recently read about toys and everything was GameStop is massively regretting the Think Geek.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they have 2 Think Geek stores that are doing well, but every GameStop store that's trying to sell collectibles is failing miserably.
Right.
Like they are clearancing out everything. If you go into, I was in 2 GameStops just this week. And when I say clearance, I mean below cost because I know their cost. Their cost is the same as mine.
Sure.
They don't get a special tier. They had the idols for $1. The Funko idols for $1.28. They have mystery minis for as low as 79 cents to $1.99. And I'm like, Mike, and they had a Play Arts, not a Play Arts, but an Alien. I think it was Play Arts, Alien Play Arts that was clearanced out for $28, and I'm just like, that's $10
nuts.
below my cost, and it's just, I saw that and I read the article where basically
the thing. They're stocking all the wrong things.
Yes,
I go in there, I'm like, why do you have all these statues and Play Arts? I'm not going to buy these from you.
They don't know. They don't know what they're doing, and it's. I think they thought the frustrating thing is that GameStop jumped on board this bandwagon because they saw local stores doing well. But I think they got to remember there's a certain clientele that go into a local store and a certain clientele that go into a... It's so much easier for me to walk into a store that's locally owned. Good example, Ultra Pop. I love Ultra Pop. Paul's a friend of mine. Great guy. I've seen things at Ultra Pop at other stores that are big boxes. But when I see them at a big box, my mind doesn't go, let me buy it. But when I see them at Ultra Pop, I buy them because it's not just I think it's cool. It's also I'm supporting a local business.
Right.
There's something easier about buying from a local place because you're supporting something that is tangible to you. You're not just,
The other reality, too, is that GameStop is everywhere, which is wonderful because video games and such are very prevalent. However, when it rains, it pours is a very true adage for toys and collectibles. You have to find a community, a town, where there's a lot of people who want that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember going back home to Minnesota and visiting, and whenever Jennifer and I go on vacation, one of the things we like to do, other than hit a Build-A-Bear, is try to find a comic book shop, a toy shop, something. That the souvenirs that I get are action figures, even if they're things that are normal.
Yeah, so do I. I agree.
I remember where I got it. That's my souvenir, right? Rather than buying
totally
the shot
agree.
glass that says, I've been here. It's hey, that action figure I got when we were on vacation.
I
there.
could tell you where all my statues came from, and when
Right.
I know the statue that I have that my dad first ever statue my
Exactly.
dad haggled on and things like
and so we like to do that. But I remember being back in Minnesota, and I like where we were in Minneapolis and stuff. There wasn't a single store, and so GameStop might think that they're trying to like break into a market by bringing these things into their already existing store, bringing a whole new line of merchandise to their own existing store. But it's like there aren't other stores trying to market that either. Yeah. So
people don't go to
carrying stuff that's not needed. Like
people
you're carrying
don't go
stuff
to
that no one in your
GameStop.
area wants.
People don't go to GameStop for that, and
Right.
And nerd culture is everywhere, but it is. Certain areas do better. Like I just came back.
That's all I'm saying.
I've traveled to every state in the United States except for Alaska and Hawaii. Before I opened the store, my dad and me went to every single state. We did a road trip, top to bottom, and then back the other way. And we hit a comic book store in every state. Sometimes more than one, but every state we hit one.
That's
and
cool.
That was something you notice from areas to areas. Like, good example is I just came back from Philadelphia. Philadelphia has a huge amount of comic book stores. They have a huge community around it.
That's awesome.
It's all over the place there. The same can't be said for New York City. I love New York City. It's one of my favorite cities, but there's Midtown, there's Forbidden Planet, and there's a few other little smaller ones sprinkled around, but for the per capita number of people, there's not that many.
You would think there'd be way more.
No, but you would, but then
But there's not.
Exactly. And that's what's maybe GameStop thought maybe that's a market we could tap into, but I feel like it's
the only market they're tapping is the Funko market.
Yes.
By having pops.
I mean, realistically, all the Funko collectors that are out there are mostly new collectors. That Funko is the only thing they collect.
Correct.
They're not. They haven't been collecting like us for years. Other things, so they're already going to every store getting all the like exclusive pops and stuff. So yeah, they'll go to GameStop and they'll buy a bunch of pops because they're getting exclusives there.
Right.
But other than that, all the action figures.
It's always clearanced. All the play art stuff's always clearanced. Everything, all the statues are the thing that crack me up the most. Listen, I think it makes sense. It makes sense for you to. I think it makes sense for you to have a Zelda statue. It makes sense.
Right.
You know, like
I mean, if it's video game related.
Exactly. Yeah. At the same time, every single time I go into a GameStop, all their Zelda stuff is clearanced out. And I'm like, if you can't sell this. What's funny is that I was in a GameStop today picking up Nintendo Land. Now, I was there with Hunter, and I was pointing out things, and I was like, I'm sold out of that, I'm sold out of that. And they're sitting here clearancing them out. And I'm like, I'm sold out of all. I sell this stuff instantaneously, and they're sitting on it because it's just not their clientele. Their clientele is video games. And they're trying to get into this whole other market. And that's why the individual Think Geek stores do well because it's one thing and people going there.
Right. They know what to expect.
It's you see stores like FYE trying to turn into a Think Geek and all this stuff, and it's
yeah, they're another one. They're just carrying way too much stuff.
It's old, and the thing is, it's old stuff.
Yeah.
It's old stuff. It's horrifically priced.
Yes, it's very badly
and
priced. Well,
there's no reason for me. There's no draw for me to come back because I've seen the same thing there the last 5 times I've gone.
This is where local businesses will always thrive over big boxes. Local businesses don't.
They can't.
Well, no, they will thrive. over
Yes,
this.
but they can't sit on stuff. I'm
No,
sorry.
well,
I
no,
was-
not what they. The biggest thing though that I've noticed with all these companies, because you just talked about the pricing, local. Listen, there's always the exception to the rule.
Sure.
But local businesses are usually not greedy. Big boxes get greedy and they get greedy quick.
Yeah.
For instance, Hot Topic just raised the price again on their pops. Just to let you guys know, there is not a special tier that Hot Topic's on. The same tier
pay the
of
same
pricing
as
I
any
see.
local-
So I know how much they pay,
Interesting.
and what big boxes always want at the bare minimum of 50% profit margin, and they take everything into calculation: how much they pay their employees, how much the lights cost, how much the shipping is, everything else, as they should,
Right.
and how long it sits on the shelf, as they should. But what happens is they start to get greedy. Their pops are now going up to from $12.99 to $14.99.
Yeah,
So.
thanks.
It's a $5 increase on a pop that now you're buying. So they're probably more than likely they're on fourth tier. I'm on third tier. They're on fourth tier. So they pay $1. They pay $5.25 per pop, and they are now charging them at $15, which is good for their overhead and everything, but it's them just getting too greedy, and that's what FYE does. I've
Yeah,
seen things at
yeah.
FYE that make no sense to me.
Oh,
the
man, none.
the Marvel Selects always are $25 at any comic book store you go
Right,
to.
right.
You know, unless it's a rare one, it's $25. That's the MSRP on them. And yes, they cost us $16, and we sell for $25. Not the greatest margins.
Action figures don't have a fantastic
Exactly.
margin.
And that's what these big companies aren't getting, though.
Right.
Plastic is not a good
It's
margin.
a petroleum-based product,
It's-
and all the liberals of the world have made petroleum expensive. And so this is a reality of our collection, our hobby, is that
Right.
petroleum is not, it's taxed and regulated all over the place, and that affects directly. You have to think about that kind of stuff when you think about our hobby. Like, petroleum matters.
No, I don't think a lot. The biggest thing that I've had people complain that how can something that's die-cast be cheaper than something that's plastic and or polystoned, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, it's because it's the
Yeah.
materials going into it.
Yep.
Which
That's a
I
real thing.
think that takes a lot of it takes more thought to realize what goes into these products.
Yes.
And what makes them more expensive. Licensing makes things more expensive. That's the other
Yep.
thing too. I've had to explain that to people all the time. The Star Wars pops, for example. I don't mark them up, but some stores do, because Star Wars pops cost more money than regular pops because you're paying for the Star Wars
Because
licensing.
does Funko charge you different? Are they charging?
Yeah, it's
they
a
charge
diff-
you differently.
yeah, it's a different-
because they have a different.
Exactly.
Build-A-Bear has the same problem. Is you can see some of the specialty bears that they make that are like their own creation, and they're like $20. But then Darth Vader bear comes out, and it's probably the same level of unique craftsmanship, but it's $15 more.
It's because it's
it's a licensed product.
Yeah, and it's
a real thing.
That's how licensing deals work.
Yeah.
Because the store or the company take a certain percentage, and then the rest goes back to the licensor.
And no harm, no foul. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
You just have to factor that in on things. Well, and that's what's interesting about the Turtles license being expanded like this is we're gonna see. Cool competition. We're gonna see cool competition between different lines, different statues, figures, boxed mystery minis, and stuff like that. We're gonna see a lot of cool things coming out because they're different companies and different lines are gonna be trying to compete. I know it's
like
exciting.
I was saying, I haven't collected Ninja Turtles action figures since I was a kid, and
But
I'm
you're
already
getting ready to.
everything that's been coming out. I'm like, oh my god, I want all of this.
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
amazing. All the NECA stuff, and then the first Gokin, and I still like the Funko, and even what are those vinyls you have out there?
The Kid Robot.
Yeah, I really want those Kid Robot vinyls.
And the great thing about the Kid Robot and Loyal Subjects is those are two very small companies that actually like each other a lot. And
That's cool.
Kid Robot's owned by NECA now, but still they like each other a lot. I've actually hung out with both the owner in the same dinner, the owner of Loyal Subjects and Kid Robot.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
They're all very chill, fun people to talk with.
Oh, that's cool.
The guy that owns Loyal Subjects is a massive surfer hippie. He even has the accent. And he's like, "Oh man, we need to." Like every single time I see him, he's asking me like if he could take me out surfing. Like he's
That's funny.
He's so like bro, like
Dude, bro.
Yeah, so
That's
he's
so
awesome,
funny. You would
awesome
neere,
dude,
you would never
awesome
like
dude.
peg.
I hope he's a Turtles fan.
He's a
gotta
massive
be.
Turtle fan. Yeah, he's
Gotta be, man.
He's a massive Turtle fan. Yeah, and that's why he's so proud of that line of. He's also an old school Turtle fan. That's why he's like trying to throw in like Leatherhead and some of the older ones.
Right.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, no, it's a well. That's the thing that I always crack up about, and I was ignorant to the fact of how these things worked before I owned a store. But the fact of the matter is, I still can't believe Funko's as small as it is.
It is impressive considering how many licenses they have.
and it's their owner. Listen,
Does he just like go around and talk to people and he's like, "Hey, sell me your license"?
He is a mad dog when it comes to this. I have heard from people that worked for him that he is the worst person in the world to work with because he moves a mile a minute. But at the same time, they respected the hell out of him
Right.
because he moves a mile a minute.
Yeah.
So he's horrible to work for because he basically he asks you can be
He
giving
asks
him,
the
you can,
impossible.
You can be giving him 100%. He wants you to give him 200.
Right.
And he's a hell of a guy, hell of a go-getter, and he's a very eccentric guy. Like when I've met him, he's all over the place. He kind of talks all over the place, and but he's super nice, and he's got a hell of a drive. And a lot of people don't know he pulled Funko from bankruptcy. That company was going out of business. They did Head Knockers.
Fascinating.
No, it's Head Knockers,
Yeah,
yeah.
Head Knockers is what Funko did. They were going out of business. This guy comes in and buys this company and says, "I'll take it. I want this company." And then he invented the pop, and he decided, let's just go license crazy. And
And it's working.
Nobody could say he doesn't know what he did because he knows exactly what he did. He's a smart man.
How long were those Head Knockers around?
Oh, years.
Yeah, it's like
Years.
way
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, that was Funko's original.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
What
was their
It's
IP.
crazy how long we've been around.
Ignorant moment. What are head knockers?
Bobbleheads.
They're the bobblehead. They're in like the taller package. They still make them.
Yeah.
They're in the taller packaging. They're taller figures with the bobbleheads.
Like
Yeah.
the Seinfeld ones? Like there's a whole bunch of them, but I'm thinking Seinfeld right now. Like the elongated.
No, those are the icons. You think
Oh,
of the
okay. I'm
icons.
thinking of icons.
The icons are amazing. I wish that.
They
line
look
would
like pops.
continue.
They're just in a thinner package and they're taller.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'll have to look
they
them
had
up.
like wrestling ones and
Okay. So that's just what they did for a long time.
Yeah, it's the reason why the Marvels bobble, because the licensing agreement that they have with Funko is to be bobbles.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
So most pops don't bobble, but the Marvel ones do.
Marvel and Star Wars.
Marvel and Star Wars are bobbleheads.
Yeah. So
I've always wondered why there's some bobble and some not.
Yeah. So
Fascinating. The things you learn. But
no, it's a 40-man company. It's a small company. I've
Keep it small, man.
Just recently, they got a actual operating system on their phone. By that I mean, if I called Funko, a random person would pick up, and then I would have to ask to be transferred somewhere. It wouldn't be like a "Thank you for calling Funko. This is Jenna." It
Yeah.
would just be like, "Hello, this is Tessa."
You know,
I wish I
whoever
would've known
would
that.
answer.
and
if I would
now
have known that, I totally would have been calling all the time. Like, hey, you really need to make a 6-inch Galactus.
they finally have got like an answering service now of
That's
like, you
funny.
know, and that just shows you. And Kid Robot's super small, NECA's small. They're all small companies. They're not. People equate these companies on the level of Hasbro and Mattel and Playmates, and they're not. Playmates is the smaller of those three.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Playmates just makes bank off of the turtles,
Yeah.
but they're still not like even in the top
Playmates
three.
is the little like Lego looking figures, right?
No, Playmates is
That's
the
Playmobil.
company that makes. Playmates is the company that makes turtles.
Oh,
Yeah, you think
who's the one that?
Play School. You're
Play-
thinking of Play School that makes this.
no,
no.
Playmobil. I think he's playing the Playmobil, which by the way is owned by Funko now. They just bought them.
Oh, really? Are you talking about
Yeah.
Mega Blocks?
Maybe that's it. The
You're
one-
talking about Mega Blocks.
I
But
really want all those.
The Mega Block turtles.
Yeah, they look awesome.
Yeah, they
I wish
are
would
cool. I
sell
have a
them
couple
single
of them.
package, just the characters.
They have single package, not blind box of the movies, of the movie figures. And then they have single pack of the cartoon turtles, like not the old 90s cartoon turtles, but they have like a sewer set, so they're a little more expensive. It's
Speaking
not
of
just a
which,
figure.
these
But the Mega Blocks are cool.
those
too.
are the Playmobil turtles that are coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Funko actually owns them.
I
now.
saw that.
They're in the catalog in the back of Funko's catalog. which is there's the
So
picture right there.
Playmobil is owned by Funko, like the old
Yeah.
German company is owned by
They
Funko.
bought them, yeah.
Fascinating. So that's why they're going to do all that weird stuff with them.
It's crazy how, but no, so Toy Fair. I wish Toy Fair could be open to more people. I
do too.
The fans.
I understand why it's not.
To be
but I
honest,
wish
the
it could.
fans would probably destroy that show because
Yes,
they would
they
go in
would.
there and yell like, why the hell can I get this? So
Yes,
like,
that's exactly what would happen, unfortunately.
but as far as the knowledge of what goes on, I think people would respect more of these companies.
It's educational, yeah.
Exactly. Hasbro and Mattel. Hasbro doesn't even go to Toy Fair anymore. They have
I
an
know.
offsite.
Hasbro
Hasbro
thinks that they are.
Yes.
Jews.
Yeah, Hasbro has an off-site thing. You had to be invited to there, and they only let the VIPs of VIPs like Toys R Us and everybody else go. Everybody else can go f themselves in their eyes. Sorry.
It's okay. You just get beeped real nice.
Honestly, though, nobody likes Hasbro.
Yeah.
Nobody likes Hasbro.
No.
At all.
Well, that's
they come out with some good figures, and so we put up with them.
But here's what the good thing about that is. Even the companies that license with them don't seem to like them because they're letting other people have their license now, and they're showing that they're expanding more and more.
I mean, when were there Star Wars figures outside of the Hasbro line until recently? Until Disney got a hold.
Yeah.
Until Disney got a hold of the Star Wars license, you did not find Star Wars action figures outside of maybe some really high-end collectibles.
There are 3 companies.
But now Figuarts, Bandai has.
Yeah, Figure Arts is making them look like a bunch of chumps.
Yeah, there are 3 companies that are at Toy Fair that usually are always the douchiest. Hasbro, Mattel's very douchey. The last one hurts me that they are like this, but Lego. And Lego,
Oh, really?
And
Oh,
Lego
I
needs
believe
to Lego needs to understand that licensing's coming up. Like the patent is coming up for the what they patent.
Can they not repatent it or whatever?
No, that's not how it
Is that-
works. No, the patent law is coming up. I think it's already actually up. I'm pretty sure other people could do it now. So like Lego's a great company, but at the same time, I think they're a little elitist.
You are never the thing though with Lego is you will never beat the name brand of
No,
Lego. Like you might be able to offer an identical product,
I agree,
but like Lego is synonymous to Kleenex. Kleenex is a brand
I completely
that
agree.
we now use. We say, "Hey, pass me a Kleenex,"
Yeah.
Right.
and we're talking about a face tissue.
I agree, but I think Lego.
Is,
If
hey,
other people start
hand me
to,
that Lego, and we're talking about construction toys.
if other people start to give something,
Give
at a
licenses
cheap- at a
over
cheap-
to-
and at a cheaper rate, because Lego, we all know marks things up because they are the end all to be all.
Oh,
And
there's
they're-
nothing that competes at the
Yeah,
moment.
and until somebody comes around and starts competing with them licensing wise and then just branding wise, because branding's a big part of it. They
Yes.
branded themselves very well.
Yes,
but
they have recently.
The dickiest companies to deal with at Toy Fair would definitely be Hasbro and Mattel.
That's really funny that you say Lego is pretty douchey because in the last like 5 years to maybe 10 years, maybe that long ago, they used to be really douchey with these like they're like these fan conventions.
I know,
of like civilian
They
master
used to shut 'em
builders.
down, yeah.
They used to hate them. Now they go there and recruit.
I know,
Which is really cool. So they've started to embrace the communities of
Which I
Lego
think- I
fans,
think
which is
it's-
great.
I think
So
it's great.
It's making me hopeful that that maybe they'll start like when they get some fire lit underneath them by competitors, that they might break down that barrier that you're talking about.
I think it'd be good.
I hope so.
Competition builds all sorts of
it
things.
does. It does. I'm always in favor of competition.
It's a great thing to have. It builds
Yeah.
progress.
Well,
But-
it builds creativity. That's what we're seeing
Yeah.
here, right? Like we're seeing that first choke again, or the first Skokin
which I
line
now-
of figures.
which I now own.
Yeah.
Can't wait
Like
till
we're
it gets
seeing
here.
What
there
you think?
some really cool.
That's what you think.
Dustin's gonna like
I'm gonna get
intercept
angry
it.
with your mailman.
You're gonna get. It's gonna be at the store though.
The next video. The
My
next
store
I'll
mailman.
be like, hey Evan, he ordered that for me.
Oh,
I've already prepaid it.
okay.
Oh, that's
okay.
nice.
Okay.
The next like door video of someone stealing a package is gonna be like Dustin running off with this giant thing.
Oh, NECA, I really want to see them expand on their turtle.
I do too. Well, they made a long time ago. They made the 4 turtles.
Yeah, they did.
in the comic
They
comic
did.
style
They're,
of.
they're stupid expensive.
Oh yeah,
They are
I don't care about the
beyond
I
expensive.
would like to have the set of the turtles, but
yeah.
Dude,
Well,
they're
more interested in.
They're
the
so
other
expensive.
characters.
They're so expensive. They were actually there's black market places doing black market versions of them.
They're cheaper and about as nice to get the knockoff versions of them. Yes,
Yeah.
Well,
but
it's
I'm
just
just surprised that they had that a long time ago, and now they're bringing it back.
right.
So I hope they actually do
NECA's
more
always
with it.
been the cheaper option, like Hasbro.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Right.
NECA does that a lot with lines. They actually get rid of stuff and then bring it back. They don't.
Is that
like
intentional?
Yeah, they don't like to oversaturate markets
Okay,
with
okay.
it. They did it
Interesting.
with Predators. They did it with Terminator. They
I just want Bebop, Rocksteady, and
I know.
without
A nice
spending
Bebop Rocksteady.
$300.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure NECA will do something. I feel like I have. If there's any company I have confidence of creating a cool toy line, it would be NECA. NECA creates. I mean, I have a whole NECA section at the store for a reason.
Right,
They
right.
create some really good products.
Yeah, I hope that they release like the individual figures from the SDCC set. Like I hope that they'll let me buy at least the 4 turtles without having to hunt down that set.
I don't see it happening.
There's like 10 different versions of the
They
video
just-
game Rocky alone.
They need to
On
make
top
it
of the other
available.
20 versions of Rocky alone.
They need to make it available on their website or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want both sets.
Just own up and buy it on eBay.
I'm not doing that.
Well, see, okay, I just don't like
eBay
that. I want to
scalpers.
support NECA. Like, I don't want to support the seller on eBay
Well,
unless
how much-
unless
how
NECA
much is
sells it
each
on
set?
eBay.
Have they announced how much each set
No.
is?
Probably
Probably
$100.
Four
$100.
figures in each
Probably
one, so
100.
it's probably
At
Probably
least 100.
$100.
for one set.
Yeah. I would
Yeah, it's
think one set would be
$25 a figure
$100, yeah.
probably.
Okay.
It's $100.
Then it's going to be 150 or 200 on eBay.
Right.
I would do 150 at the most.
No, I'm not going to do that. No.
Mm.
Why am I going to pay somebody $50?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to do that.
That's true. Legwork.
Well, that's what I like. That's another cool part about even the new Playmates is they've started to re-release the old Playmates molds of some of the old vintage figures. They've got the 4 turtles with the sprue pack of extra weapons.
Yeah.
The packaging is very similar.
There's a Bebop and Rocksteady.
There's figures of all of them, and then they've even started doing. They've got one wave of the crazy ones. Like they've got, I think it's Mike is in he's got like a skateboard and he kind of looks like a bum, like a surfer bum kind of guy. They've got Leo in a football, with shoulder pads and helmet, and they've got Don in like a military outfit or whatever, and it's cool. It's the old toys like being re-released. So for someone like you, Dustin, who likes things in box, like you probably pick some of those up and go, hey, I know it's not the first release, but I'm never gonna find that.
Oh my god.
You
It's a psychological thing. That's why you have to have things in box.
I suppose.
to protect it.
Yeah. Interesting. But here's the thing, just to let you know, if you ever buy any turtles or anything, I will make sure that me and someone else go over to your house, put them all in a garbage bag and smack.
I'm a big boy now. I can return the favor. Put you in a garbage can to smash you.
No, I think it's a psychological thing where you don't like things out of packaging.
It could be. We gonna turn this into a session?
I have a bachelor's degree.
Oh yeah.
Psychology. You want to sit down?
No, I don't.
Okay. I could dissect you so.
They need to re-release the first wave or the first make of Ninja Turtles they ever did.
That's what I'm saying.
With
They did
the squishy heads.
squishy heads
You don't remember that?
with like the shooting water. How they could
No.
shoot water out their mouths.
they were like that. It's just
Yeah.
the heads were like
They were really.
squishy.
They were really.
They were
crap.
soft.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like not the ones that like you push the head down and it hit in the shell.
No,
Like
it was
squishy heads.
It was just.
I
like
am
those,
learning so much.
But they were the head was like
Nasty
rubbery,
rubber. Ooh, why?
I remember having. I never played with them because
That's
they
fascinating.
Somebody thought it was a smart idea, or it was a
Someone did.
manufacturing mistake. I don't know. Either.
Yeah, how funny would it be if they're just like, we molded this in goop rather
Yeah.
than in plastic?
They were really gross.
That is gross.
I mean, they even had variants back then. I remember I had the April O'Neil variant. There was 2 versions of April O'Neil in the yellow jumpsuit, one with a stripe going down, one with 2 stripes going down, one with 1 stripe going down.
Was that an intentional variant
Yes.
or an
Yes.
error?
It was an intentional variant.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very fascinating.
So, and they had low low case numbers too back then. They did a ton of low case number things with the turtle toys. So even then they knew, and that wasn't even an eBay or a secondary market at the time. I think
Yeah.
they just did it to, part of it might have been because they did low case numbers because it might have been figures that they didn't think they would sell that many of.
Right.
And other part of it might just be that they wanted a kind of a
Well,
rarity.
when each one of those waves has the variety that they have, you that's the smartest move you can do is have low case numbers. It's because they're pulling from characters. It's like Star Wars; they pull from every character that pops on the show for 2 seconds. It's like, oh, we'll make a
Yes.
figure of that.
Even characters that they don't pop on the show and they just they make it and then they put it in the show.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. That's it. One of the things I love about Turtles, though, and Brian, you kind of touched on this earlier, is the fact that there are going to be future generations that Turtles are nostalgic for them. They currently want Turtle toys, and so that's servicing, Playmates making all these Turtle toys services the kids out there who are watching the show, who are fans of the show. It also plays to us who are nostalgic thinking about it, and in the future there will be future generations who are watching it currently and also nostalgic of the past. But another reason the merchandise doesn't go away is because there's a running market for it because there's shows on that are reminding people about it, and a lot of lines now that are dying, like Barbie is failing miserably now, and it's in no small part due to the fact that it's not tied to any media.
Right.
But these toys are tied to media that we love getting getting immersed in the Turtles world from every avenue, from movies to toys to comics to whatever else. And so we do that with everything. And it's one reason G.I. Joe is having a hard time. It's not a good show anymore.
No, it
tied
was
to
never
it.
a good show.
And so the only people buying G.I. Joe stuff are the hardcore subscription fans, which kudos, but that's one reason why it's mass marketed is not happening for it. So I'm really glad that they have that strategy that you were talking about, Brian, because it means that we'll get really good stuff going on in the future, and it's not just toys, but we'll get other cool media too.
It's time for Street Sharks to follow suit.
Street Sharks.
I love Street Sharks more.
I love
more
Street
than-
Sharks.
more than Turtles.
Awesome. I realize now as an adult that it is just a 100% blatant ripoff.
Oh, it totally is. But
I loved it.
yeah,
I loved
it was awesome.
The toys totally sucked though.
Yeah.
I hated the rubbery top half.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, even though Vin Diesel did a bang up job in that Toy Fair commercial. I love Street Sharks. I still say that's Jocelyn, and no one knows what I'm talking
Yep.
about. For the most part, I'm like, that's Jocelyn, and they're like, what the? Did you just make that word up?
I started to
I was
watch
like,
the
no.
series the other day.
Did you hear recently a dude admitted to the fact that a long time ago, like when he was in middle school or high school, he edited some open source wiki page about Street Sharks and added a couple of different episodes and a made for TV movie. He wrote descriptions for these episodes in this made for TV movie, created a female shark character, named her Roxy or something like that. And people on forums and stuff today, and mind you, these episodes in this movie don't exist. Roxy is not a actual Street Sharks character, but people in fan boards and stuff talk about these movies, they talk about these episodes, they talk about this character Roxy as if they've seen it, as if they know who she is, as if they've watched it. And this dude is reading these forums going, that's just patent crap. Because I made that up.
Right.
Those things don't exist. But even on IMDb, those episode descriptions and titles are still there, despite the fact that that joke that he did goes so far back that even IMDb and stuff thought it was legit.
That's
and it's
funny.
just not. It's so funny. It's so funny. And
My
so-
favorite Street Shark character is Roxy.
Brian bought the hype.
And my favorite Ninja Turtle is what's her
Venus.
name? Is that her name?
Is that the blue girl? The light blue,
the turtle?
Yeah.
the female turtle?
Yeah.
That was her name.
Dude, Venus was cool.
No, she wasn't.
Whatever. I loved. Is that New Mutation or New Generation?
Mutation.
New Mutation. I loved that show.
How did you like New Mutation?
I liked it. I loved the dragon. I liked the dragon toy that they had. Because I loved the, like, red, white, gold armor and stuff that he had. It was cool. And then I liked having a female turtle.
What's
That was
that?
sweet.
It's from your old lady friends.
Oh, did they send you?
No, it was on Facebook.
That's awesome. Okay. Turtles, action figures, clearly something we all have loved.
What,
grew
they
up
have
with.
Star Trek Build-A-Bears?
That's brand new today, good sir. I love how he's harassing Build-A-Bears, but now he's like jazzed. Yeah,
They got a little phaser.
they've got Star Trek Build-A-Bears. They've got
Ghostbusters,
They've got
which is all
Ghostbusters.
those.
With the Star Trek ones, there's two kinds. There's just the black bear with the little gold emblem, and then there's an actual Spock
Do they have
Spock bear.
the Star Trek guy that's crashed in a car?
Too soon.
Oh.
That's terrible.
Hey, they sell cars. You could just recreate it.
Oh.
That's not okay. It's not okay because he like you
It's
almost
not okay because I like that kid. a
you
lot.
almost hope that there was foul play, but it doesn't seem like there was.
No,
and
no,
it's just
no,
a terrible
it's-
accident.
No, it
Foul
was
play on the account of the maker or something.
Manufacturer.
It was
I know,
his car.
but that's
It was the
but that's not
manufacturer. Yeah, it
that's
was
not foul
recalled.
play. Like that's just like awful. Do you know what I mean? It's
Brian
yeah.
wanted him to be drunk.
No. Well, you almost like you're still sad that there's been a loss of life and this person who was so talented died young, but like there's nothing like this is not his fault in any way, shape, or form, and it's one of those things where just like accidents suck, and sometimes it's just like I wish there was something I could actually put blame on, but in this instance,
Do you all always end your show on such a sad note?
I don't know. We went that way. This doesn't have to be in the show either. Edit this out, Dustin.
Death.
Anyway, we love turtles. It enters into our lives in so many different ways, and it doesn't sound like it's going away. And in fact, it sounds like we're going to enter a new era of collectibles and stuff that we can really enjoy and love, whether it's figure arts, doing old school comic stuff, or third-party companies doing crazy versions of Krang, Shredder, and Casey Jones. And
I bought Krang.
we
Everybody, Brian Barrow bought Krang, the 10-inch first Gokugen Krang.
for monies.
He's very excited.
For lots of
He
monies.
wants everyone to know.
Come
Yeah.
visit him.
In case
Come
you
visit him in the
didn't
store
listen
and
to the
say
show
hello.
and for the past however
Opening it up. I'm breaking the seal.
featuring peg warmers.
2 of peg warmers.
Dustin and I are just like chilling in the corner,
Yeah.
like watching the whole time.
2 of peg warmers can be on.
We need to come on Breaking the Seal a little bit more.
You probably should.
We should.
I'm just going to sit behind the camera with a whip.
My numbers.
You're doing it wrong, Brian.
Breaking the seal gets insane numbers. If you want to capitalize on it, seems like it would be a natural fit.
Yeah, we'd love to come on.
It's up to you
We're just going to
guys.
help you by coming on.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys. You would probably freak out because it's breaking the seal.
No, see, he doesn't freak out about it. I jokingly say that their souls die when we open stuff.
I'll just make sobbing noises in the camera the whole time.
You just see him like curl up in a ball. But well, Brian, thanks for joining us.
It's good fun. Am I
talking
your
about-
first guest?
You are our first guest. We should have mentioned that earlier. You are our first guest.
That's
I know I've got
awesome.
some friends who are really into statues, which the 4 of us don't really. You buy some statues, Dustin,
I'm
but you're not
obsessed
like a
with
statue
statues.
I
guy.
don't own any statues.
Statues are amazing.
And so we've got some friends. He like after our like 3rd podcast, he was like, "When am I going to be on doing statues?" I was like, "Dude, hold on, it's going to be a little bit." we're slow, but no. Thanks for being our first guest.
That's
Thank
no
you for
problem. Sorry I
inaugurating that.
cursed.
You're totally fine, dude. And yeah, thanks for coming on, talking about turtles, sharing all of your expertise with us, and
Brian's mic just went limp. I think that's the end of it.
This podcast was doing it for me, and then
and then lost on the mic. Well, again, thanks everybody for listening. Go and see the movie, support it, even if it ends up not being your favorite.
I don't get a
Heroes
plug.
and a half show.
I don't get a plug.
Turtle
when I-
Power.
I don't get a plug when I want to plug.
I'm not
You all
not
ever had a
done
guest
yet.
on?
No, we haven't had a
Oh
guest
my
on, so haven't done it. I'm not done. I was planning on letting you talk. Go watch the movie. Go listen to all the other DNN podcasts about turtles. That's been happening this entire week. Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about your specific podcast that you You
So
do.
I not only host Nerdstalgia on the DNN, I also own and operate the Destination, which is a toy store and a comic book store in Louisville, Kentucky. So you can check that out. It's a lot of fun. I also own the. Did I say the Destination or the DNN? The Destination's the store. The DNN's the
Podcast
the
group.
podcast group, of which I am on right now, and I host Nerdstalgia. We talked about the new Turtle movies this week. You should listen to it. It's a lot of fun, and this was the first episode in many moons that I did not talk about myself. We actually stayed on topic.
Nice.
So
Well done.
I kind of feel like we talked about you the whole time.
Oh wait, no, I'm talking about on
He's talking about
Nerdstalgia.
nostalgia.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
listening. apparently.
Yeah,
It's
So-
okay for us to talk about our guests the whole time, though.
Yeah, it's not okay for me to host a show and talk about myself.
You just need to do a whole nother show where all you do is talk about yourself.
Yeah, necessary neurosis.
I know. Just steal Eric's podcast.
But no, it's been fun. It's been fun.
Well, thanks for coming on. And the ladies, Jennifer and Ashley, wish you all adieu, but they just didn't want to talk about turtles, so haters. But this is Ryan Bell
That's the free partner.
and our guest,
Ashley and Jennifer
our guest Brian Barrow.
fused together.
Cowabunga!
Cowabunga!
Thanks for listening to Peg Warmers. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under the name Peg Warmers. You can also contact us at pegwarmerspodcast@gmail.com. Visit our website to check out our other shows on the DNN Destination Nation Network at destinationcomics.com. And to see us in person or to see some of the toys we've mentioned on Peg Warmers, visit the